Wouldn't it be a wonderful world if every negotiation you did, everyone would have the feeling they had won? And wouldn't it be a wonderful world if every negotiation you did resulted in a strong, long-term relationship? And wouldn't it be a wonderful world if every negotiation you did, everyone could give a little ground without fear of being taken? Well, it is a wonderful world, because today you are going to discover the secrets of successful, stress-free negotiating. At the heart of every commercial contract you've ever negotiated in your life lies these three things. We've been talking about them now since yesterday, it may be a long time ago before we met. And the point with these three things is that they are interconnected. You can't talk about one without talking about the others, can you? Because to do so would take us straight to haggling. Let me give you an example. So let's pretend a customer wants a price, he wants to talk about a price reduction. Does this sound okay to you? Yeah. Well, we automatically respond with, an impact on either time and or quality, and maybe a combination of both. Likewise, if a customer wants things to be done in a rush, well, this might take us more resources and cost more. And maybe there won't be enough time to do the job in its original specification. Okay? Now, getting closer to your world, there is a high drive for quality. And this can mean things can take more time and cost more. Yeah. Well, and your challenge as contract management team is to handle all this. And now, this is when things start getting stressy and complicated sometimes, because of the amount of people you have involved. Let me tell you a little story about, slightly tongue-in-cheek, about an equally complex environment. The story takes place Friday, 27th of April, 1990. I guess, like many in this room, I travel on business. And here I come back after 3 weeks on that Friday, 27th of April 1990. And when I'm on business, my devoted husband here, Didier, looked after our 2 children, 4-year-old boy, 2-year-old girl, now 23 and 21. Okay, long time ago. And then he's very happy to see me. I'm sure all your spouse or significant other are very happy to see you when you come back from business, aren't they? Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, he was very pleased to see me that evening. And I was very pleased to see my family too. So how do you think I felt after 5 minutes of me getting back home? When I got that call from my best friend, Evelyn. And here she goes, "Hey, Christine, I didn't know you were home. But I won 2 tickets to go and see the Led Zeppelin concert tonight. Now, you need to know I'm an absolute Led Zeppelin Robert Plant fanatic. And that is really, I mean, I start now feeling at that specific time I'm going to have problems. Because, you know, on one hand I have this, and on the other hand, you know, I have, you know, 2 tickets for the best rock and roll band in the world. And, well, not an easy choice, really not. So, let's have a look at all the options I would have to solve that little problem and negotiate with my husband that night. Well, I would start trying to convince him, you know, using all my charms. You know, after now 25 years marriage, does it still work, darling? Okay, well, it did work at that time, except when I said, you know, darling, please let me go to that concert. You know, I'm desperate for Led Zeppelin. You know, Robert Plant is just, you know, okay. Well, and it didn't work very well because, you know, persuasion. When persuasion works, it doesn't cost anything. Other thing I could have done is solve the problem. Solve the problem. Telling my husband, darling, I have 2 tickets for the rugby match next week. So if you let me go to that Robert Plant concert, I will buy the tickets for you. Well, I just forgot that problem solving will only solve my problem. When you try and buy the other party's yes, sometimes, you know, in that situation, you try and buy the other party's yes. I will buy you, you know, the 2 tickets for the rugby match. I just forgot that when he saw me that night, that Friday, 27th of April, 1919, he had totally something else in mind. Now, something else I could have done. You know, when he asked me on that phone, you know, Evelyn, who was it, darling, on the phone? Who was it? And then I would tell him, oh, darling, we'll talk about this later. Come on, big hug. You know, I'm so glad to see you. Let's have some champagne, you know, together. Hoping secretly that his best friend would call him for a men's evening at the pub. And that would solve my problem. Yeah. Okay, so postponing is another option. Something else I could have done is, you know, ring my brother and say to my husband, what do you think, you know? Maybe we will ask my brother how he feels about this. When you bring a third party in the negotiation, this is often what people do internally. The other thing I could have done is haggle with my husband. Haggle with him. And tell him, look, darling, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go to the first part of the concert. Okay? And then I will come back home and spend some time with you. I don't know now what I promised him, but I think I did promise him something. And then I will go to the last part of the Led Zeppelin Robert Plant concert, and then I promise I won't party with Evelyn and all the other friends after. What is this? Some people call this compromise. Would that be a profitable deal for both parties? No. So remember, when you haggle, you don't negotiate. So, haggling destroys the negotiation. And a lot of people think that they negotiate, but in fact they haggle. They haggle. And they think that they are negotiating. Well, let's summarize. I could have, you know, convinced him using all my charms. I could have, you know, solved my problem. I could have, you know, postpone, drink the champagne. I could have done many things. But this still won't be negotiation. So, what is real, true negotiation if all that stuff we've gone through isn't? Tell me. Any idea in this room? Huh. Specifically in that tricky situation. Okay. So what is real, true negotiation is all that stuff isn't. So let me tell you, if you have to remember, if you will forget all the wonderful words you heard from all the wonderful people here sharing the platform with me for these 2 days, just remember this one. This is the magical secret, the magical question that you should ask to put yourself straight in true negotiation. And this is, the problem here. What we're talking about is it's a matter of values. You have two alternatives. Either you stay here and you deadlock. You deadlock with the customer or with the other party, and this may have some cost and consequences. Or either you accept the negotiation and you will then make concessions. There are no true negotiations, ladies and gentlemen, without concessions. All the people here in this room who thought, yeah, we will attend that conference from Christine because she's going to talk about negotiation and she's going to give us the secrets to get everything that we want without conceding anything. This doesn't exist. You can forget about it. Negotiation always has cost and consequences. Look at this couple here. Okay, reminds me, Andy and his wife, actually. And well, they have probably made a lot of concessions to reach this stage, have they? Not really. Well, if they haven't, I can promise you they will.
What is the difference between compromise and concession?
What is the difference between compromising and negotiating? Well, there is a very, very technical reason. And if you know that one, if you get that one, it will never fail anymore. When you talk about one variable, and remember the Medallion Orléans, in every commercial contract, if you only talk about money, time, or quality, only one of the three, you are haggling. The main and the very, very best technical difference between haggling and negotiating is that in negotiation you bring more than one variable. That gives you an opportunity to bargain. In haggling, there is no bargaining. You just haggle and you make two unsatisfied people. Unsatisfied deals don't last. They lead to unsatisfying relationships. And unsatisfying relationships don't last, do they? It's been my pleasure speaking to you today, and I wish you wonderful